So what do I see when I look at this one from, say, the right side? See a what? Circle and a polygon. That's right. Gonna look something like this, right? My sketches are not too cool, but something like that. Does everybody agree? All right. So let's create this. I'm going to start with the circle. And I'm just going to put it over here a little further to the right. And I'll use the diameter option. Make sure you're using diameter of 12. So it should be about that size. And so this hexagon is given to us across the flats. And I know we had some polygon struggles with the pentagon wanting to rotate, and I never have figured that out. Just we'll see what happens with this hexagon. Hopefully it'll play a little nicer. But hexagons that are given dimensions across the flats, what that means is the distance right here is 26 across the flats, right? So this is a flat and down at the bottom is a flat. Is that circumscribed or inscribed? It's circumscribed, right? So I'm going to use the polygon tool, which is underneath the rectangle on the draw panel. I pick polygon. I change my number of sides to 6. And for the center point, I'm going to use my center object snap and put it right in the center of my circle. I'm going to left click on circumscribe about a circle. I'm going to point my cursor straight up. Now, it's important that you realize that right now, AutoCAD, because we're AutoCAD experts now, and we know that we have to read what AutoCAD is asking of us. We have to know what the devil it's wanting us to do. And the only way we do that is by looking at what's going on down here. So I know what the diameter is, right? The diameter is 26. But AutoCAD is asking me for the radius. So, I got to do the math there. If the diameter is 26, what is the radius? 13, right? So that's what you have to enter. Make sure you've got the dotted line going straight up. You type 13 and press enter, and we've gotten that view created. So now if I look at it, say from this side, which we'll call the front, what do I see? 3? Okay, pretty close. You definitely get 1 right here, right? You get 2 right there. Here's 1. Here's another one.
Like 3, 4 combined, the line in the middle.
Okay, that's what you meant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So you'll see those, and everything shows up as rectangles. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw the cylinder first, and there's different ways I could do that. I'm just going to make the whole cylinder and then come back in and add the hexagon. So I'm just going to start a line, and I'm going to track off this bottom quadrant. I'm just going to start it over here somewhere. I'm going to go straight up to the top quadrant, track off of. Again, I could type the numbers in, whichever is easiest for you. And this time I'm going to go to the left, the full 44, back down, and close it up. And now that's not exactly how it's going to end up looking when I get done, but that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to so I need to start a line over here that's 19 this way, right? Does everybody agree with that to get this to go up? So I'm going to pick the line tool, And I'm going to hover on this corner, and I'm not going to left click, but I'm going to go straight to the left, just like we did before. And I'm going to type in 19 and press enter. And so it goes straight over 19 and starts the line. Now I'm going to track off this upper corner of my polygon straight up, straight to the left 6, straight down to the bottom of the polygon. And then I'm just going to go straight over, and I'm going to stop the line right there. And I'm going to bring this line straight down. And remember, I didn't draw 2 lines there. 2 lines chained together to make 1 line is, again, trouble, bad news, just like overlapping lines. And what do I mean by that? Let me just undo this back. So if I had this situation here, and I just draw another line up here to there, I can get away with it. Doesn't look any different. I won't see it on the drawing, but it will eventually cause you some grief somewhere. It's just it's bad practice. This one line represents that edge. Let's make it all the way. Okay, so I just grip edit it down. Now, this is not like a cylinder passing through a nut, so there's really not any edges here for that cylinder in between that hexagon. So I trimmed those out. They're not edges there. It's one solid chunk of material. But there is, however, an edge that lines up for this corner right here. Remember, every corner in one view is a line in another view, and it just goes straight across there. Now, the top view does look a little different. What would you see from the top view? How many rectangles would you see from the top view? 3?
5.
Yeah, you'd get an extra one, right? Because you're seeing the flat and then the 2 sides. But it's still not adding anything to the size or shape as far as the information goes. Don't need the top view in this case. Everybody okay with that? I'll give everybody a second to finish that one up. I know I did that fast.
So how do you get the height for the poly?
So I track from this,
that's right.
this corner.
Yeah.
And that's always going to be the answer to that question.
Yeah.
Track from the other view. And as your parts get more and more complex, you may have to draw like one view so far along and then stop and then go work on another view by projecting stuff back and forth. But that rule of everything always perfectly lining up, helps us create the geometry too, a lot. So this one should have some center lines too. This time, before I add the center lines, I'm just going to switch my layer to center line. I'm just going to draw, and I'm just going to track off a little ways outside. Kind of what I like to see is about 1/8 of an inch, and I'm not going to ever measure it. As long as I can tell it's sticking out there, you're going to be fine. If I see it inside or stuck to it, I will count off. And notice that covered up my little edge right there. Nothing we can do about that. You could, I guess, make shorter ones, but I think this is a better play. And then we'll also add the regular center mark. And this time I'm just going to put it around the circle part. Yes, sir. The center line?
Yeah.
The X one here?
Yeah, of course.
On the annotate ribbon, we've got a special tool that does that for us right there. Really quick. So just pick that and pick the circle and it'll drop it right in there. And mine are purple or magenta in the sin layer because I changed it. I'm going to go back to the OBJ. So just kind of a rundown on these layer names. CEN stands for center lines. HID stands for hidden lines. OBJ stands for object lines. This viewport is the boundary window that we see in paper space. And that's in a special layer that's set not to print, so we don't actually see that when we print it out. Dims is where we're going to put our dimensions a little bit later on. The texts that are in the title block are there in the text. So just a little bit about layers. This def points and 0 are always in AutoCAD drawings. Can't get those out of there. No, don't really mean anything, but they're always there.